Hello everybody, Chaz Large here with another Fix It video for you, and on the bench today we have another one of these Panasonic boom boxes, or whatever it is you want to call them. Basically it's a stereo cassette deck with CD player and AM FM radio. It's that old, it hasn't got DAB. But let's face it, FM is certainly better, isn't it? It is a model number RX-DS303, and you may have noticed in the old video listings that I've repaired one of these before. Did quite a lot of work on the cassette deck, and the person who owns this one saw that video and said, he's the man to fix mine. And basically the CD doesn't work, is what he told me. Then when he brought it around, he said, I tested it out and the cassette deck doesn't work either. So not sure exactly what's wrong, haven't tested it yet, so let's give it a go. Let's see exactly what does and what does not work. So switch it on, and we have a power on, and we can switch the operation on. There's a tape deck, so let's see if it will go into play. I don't think it will without a cassette in. I think we have to put a cassette in to make it work. My memory serves me correctly. It's been a while since I did the last one of these, and sure enough, no tape operations whatsoever. Okay, so let's open the CD. Let's get the cassette out. Something's obviously not working on that. Can I hear any? No, there's no. These are mechanical, electromechanical controls. So they're basically touch controls, is another word for it. So you have to press the buttons and then it engages a mechanism which brings the play head and so on into contact with the tape. And that's obviously not happening, so something is not working in that mechanism. Let's have a little look at a CD. Let's put a disc in and see what happens on the CD. It could be that there's a common fault between the two. It could be there's a power supply issue. Let's switch to CD, which is that one, and the CD is spinning but it's clunking, and it says that there are 11 or so tracks on here. 69 minutes 41 seconds. Let's press play, and it is playing, so we'll stop that. So obviously I think the owner may have gotten mixed up. He said initially that the CD wasn't working, the cassette was. Now it's actually the other way around. I'm not sure quite why it's clunking, but there's quite a lot of dust and dirt in here, inside there. If we switch to the overhead camera, you should be able to see there that there's quite a bit of dust and dirt in there. The mechanism itself looks okay, albeit a little bit grubby. Pinch rollers, I've actually got a little bit of grime on them, but we'll have a look at that in more detail when we get inside it. So we'll do what we usually do. We'll take the covers off, and whilst I'm doing that, we'll run the titles. Right, well, as you can see, we've got the front off. If you want to see how to take the front panel off of one of these, go back and have a look at my other video. If I remember, I'll put a link somewhere up there, the link into the other video, but basically it's just search for the same model number and you'll see it's basically screws and the front comes off. A little bit awkward it can be. Right, giving it just a brief little dust brush off with a little dusting brush, and then I put a tape in it ready to show you, and lo and behold, and it works fine. So I think it was probably just a little bit of dust that was stopping it from doing something. I'm not too sure what, but basically it's absolutely working fine. So no problem with the actual tape deck at all. So let's look a little bit further. I'll give it a good clean up, clean the heads up, clean the pinch rollers and the capstans up, because they're both quite filthy, just with oxide coming off of tapes. It's normal wear and tear, as it were. And the CD player seems to be working, but I'll just give that an optical clean off with a bit of aero duster, and hopefully it should be ready to go back together. Right, well, I just did a little bit of fault finding and found the fault, and I've forgotten to press record once again. I don't put a sign up saying press record. Anyway, basically what was happening with the CD player, it was playing, but it was sticking, as it were. You could hear mechanical sticking. And what I found is what I needed to do was to take the clamp part out of the actual lid. Okay, so that basically comes out of there. It's just 3 little clips. You put a screwdriver in there and just lever them, and you can pull this out. And it's basically just a plastic clamp with a magnet in the middle, and that goes down on top of the disc when you put the disc in. And when I did that and press play with the lid off, it won't work unless you press down the 2 little switches here. So you press those down there and then it will play. And I was doing that, and it was reading the disc and doing that, but it was going, you know, as it spun round. And a classic fault of that is a classic fault with top loading CD mechanisms, is that people put the disc in and they sometimes push it a little bit too hard. And what that does is it drops the turntable here. Let's just go to close up. So that's the turntable, and it basically drops it down by a couple of millimeters or so. So that what was happening, I get this in the right place, you can see it. So what was happening is the disc was spinning around, but it was binding on the rest of the plastic here of the optical mechanism. So what I did is just gently put a flat bladed screwdriver in there, twisted the screwdriver just slightly over, and then turned it around, twist it and twist it and twist it, so that the height of the turntable just rose just fractionally, probably a millimeter, if that. Maybe not even a millimeter. And then when you put the disc on and press play or close the lid, it doesn't do that anymore. So that should be a fix for that. Right, here we are all back together, and everything is working fine. Cassette door opens fine, shuts fine, and tape plays back okay. He says. Obviously didn't press it hard enough. And reverse direction. And that's okay. And now in the CD I've got audio recorded from the YouTube library on a disc. Now usually if there's a problem optic wise with these older CD players, they won't play a CDR homemade disc. This one is quite happily playing it. There it is. Let's skip on to the next track. Let's go. I think track 6, I think, is quite a good one. That makes a lot of difference. Anyway, CD is playing fine. As you can see, if I can jump right onto the end, and it should be fine about track 9. There we go. FM radio, long wave, medium wave. I'm not even going to try and tune it into anything on that. I can see that it's working. So basically that was the problem. The deck itself, the tape deck, really just clogged up with muck and dirt, dust and dirt, whatever, debris, a good clean out, a check of the gears which brake on this. Those gears are absolutely fine. Run round it with a finger. Couple of little dabs of molly stick grease on a couple of the little pulleys, just to be on the safe side. So the tape deck's working fine. Yep. So tape's fine, CD's fine now that I've re-leveled the turntable height. So we're all done. Hope you've enjoyed this little brief insight into another one of these, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye now.